Lock in. It's time for a quick take. This weekend brings upon it the NBA All-Star Game, and it's going to look a little different with 4 teams competing for the first time. Stephen A., what are you most looking forward to this weekend?
Seeing whether or not the players are going to show effort. This is not on the league. This is on the players. I don't care about new rules. I don't care about what they're trying to jump in. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. I want to see effort. The kind of effort that you put forth when you're working out in the summer playing against one another. If you can play then you can play on NBA All-Star Weekend. Nobody's asking you to compete like you're going against each other in the regular season or the playoffs. But in the summertime when you're working out with each other, you show a little bit of effort. You can do that for NBA All-Star Weekend. And I don't think the pressure that's going to be on Steph Curry, I don't think that can be underestimated, because what you're going to have is a situation where everybody's looking, it's in his city, all right? Everybody know he's going to be the face of this All-Star Weekend, and what you want to see from him is his ability to get the others just to act or resemble like they care just a little bit. Him and LeBron, of course. That's what you're going to be looking for. And that's all anybody asks, okay? We know that the slam dunk contest, you know me, I think we should have a national slam dunk contest and get some brothers out there from the cities throughout America and bring the top 10 dudes to All-Star Weekend and let the players sponsor those guys. That's what I think should happen. But the game itself on Sunday, just show a little effort. Because if you're not going to do that, I would be an advocate of the NBA eliminating All-Star Weekend altogether if you're not going to do that. The league should not have to compel the players just to play with a little bit of effort. That's the least they could do.
Why can't we go back to the Kobe Iverson era where the first half would be for show, everyone would have their dunks, Shaq would run the point, and then the second half they would D up and play? What's so hard about that?
Nothing. Nothing at all. It's just the guys looked at the NBA. One of the guys, one of the guys that's very, very influential in this league said this to me. The players look at the league like a bank instead of a partner. And the bottom line is y'all are all in on it together. And the league does its part in trying to promote the players and promote All-Star Weekends for its advertisers and sponsors. This is why you get an 11-year, $77 billion deal, because you appease sponsors and what have you. You can't forget about them come All-Star Weekend and decide to show up and give a lackluster effort. You got stars, I won't mention their names, but I've spoken to Hall of Famers and champions who will not show up to All-Star Weekend, and their words were, if the players don't care, why should I? That's what they said. And so now all you're asking them to do is to go out there and show a little effort similar to what previous generations of players do. Remember when Stephon Marbury and Allen Iverson went out there and they came back and won the All-Star game for the Eastern Conference, one of the best All-Star games we've seen. Remember when Kobe was going up against LeBron and those brothers earlier, just a decade ago and stuff like that, and everybody got on LeBron because he tried to pass the ball in the corner to Carmelo Anthony instead of taking the shot, but you saw guys going at each other. This is what you want to see, at least at some points of the game. Don't do that to themselves. Don't do that to the league. Don't do that to fans. You owe that. And if they're not going to do that, I don't think there should be an All-Star Weekend. So it's going to be real interesting because we know that Steph Curry is class personified. And Steph Curry is one of the greatest ambassadors of the game that we've ever seen. It being in San Francisco, him being a starter, him being there, you would hope that these guys will respond to, the urgency, the show, that All-Star Weekend matters, because right now it's not mattering to a lot of people. And I hope that's going to change, and I hope these guys step up and show some effort, because if they don't, I'll be the one in the owner's ear, I'll be the one in Adam Silver's ear. Yo, man, why bother with All-Star Weekend? They don't care. Why should the rest of us? They need to just show they care. That's all.
Back to the action on the court. Although the 1 seed seems out of reach in the West, with OKC having a commanding 8-game lead, after that, it's a tight race, with the 5th-seeded Lakers only 3 games behind the 2-seed Grizzlies. According to ESPN Analytics, OKC and the Lakers have the highest percentage chance to make the conference finals. Let's bring back Windy and Big Perk along with Stephen A. Windy, biggest sleeper in the West is?
The Denver Nuggets, and I don't even think they're sleeping. I couldn't even answer this because I don't think they're a sleeper. They have won 8 consecutive games, and in this stretch, what you have seen is the re-establishment of Jamal Murray. Now, Jokic is putting up amazing numbers. He could end up winning this MVP award. His numbers are as strong as they've ever been. I think SGA is in the lead because of how great the Thunder have been this year, but he's having an MVP level season. The difference is Jamal Murray has joined him. He's had 4 30-point games during this stretch of 8 wins. He had 55 the other night. When Jamal Murray is playing well, the partnership with him and Jokic has proven to be almost unbeatable. They may have won the title last year had they not totally let go of the rope in the second half of Game 7 at home against the Timberwolves. Still one of the more amazing things I've seen from a defending champion to go out like that. But they are a very strong team, even though they've lost some of their depth, because Russell Westbrook, now he's been out recently during this win streak. He's been out with a hamstring injury. He's expected back after the All-Star break. Him going into the starting lineup has been shockingly effective. Jokic has invested in his success. He helps Jokic. He's been a discovery for them. They are a force to be reckoned with. Keep an eye on the Denver Nuggets. They do have a tough schedule coming in, but keep an eye on the Denver Nuggets after the break.
Legit title contenders. They're a threat to win it all. Now, a sleeper, now, Stephen A., listen, y'all know I don't do this often because I'm not wrong. I'm not right. I'm not wrong often, okay? But let me apologize. Let me apologize to Ty Lue. Let me apologize to Ty Lue and the Los Angeles Clippers because I killed them when they lost Paul George and gave Paul George and got nothing back. And I said that they didn't do anything to surround and make this team better. And they're right there in the thick of things. And I knew better. I knew better. When it comes down to T. Lue bringing out the best of his players, he does that at the highest level. That's why he's one of the best coaches in the game. And now you have a team where James Harden is on his way to San Francisco as an all-star. Norman Powell should have been an all-star. And now Kawhi Leonard is the third option on this team. You have a group of veterans that has bought into their system, bought into their roles. You have Big Zubac down there playing the center position at a very high level. You have all these guys coming in off the bench that are being stars in their role. By the way, they just got Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons played a pretty decent damn game yesterday. For his first game in the Clipper uniform coming in off the bench. I'm looking at this team. What?
Is he still even in the league?
Yes, he's in the league. He's in the league. I believe he had like 14, 7, and 8 last night off the bench for the Clippers. Listen, I'm telling you, man, Ty Lue does wonders. They're not going to ask Ben Simmons to be the former #1 pick. They're going to ask him to be something off the bench that he's capable of being on this team full of vets. People need to watch out for the Los Angeles Clippers. They're the real deal. If you watch them play, they play inspiring basketball on both ends of the floor. Jeff Van Gundy is the defensive coordinator over there. He has those guys locked in defensively. I'm telling you, this Clipper team is real, and people need to watch out for them. They're my sleeper in the Western Conference.
They feel like a banana in the tailpipe. Stephen,
I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you for that. I would say the Lakers because Luka and LeBron is not something that I can sleep on because of the impact that dynamic duo can ultimately have if indeed they're a dynamic duo. I agree with Perk on 2 points though, Wendy. I don't view the Denver Nuggets as a sleeper at all. They are right where I think they would be. They could beat anybody in the West when they're on their game when Jamal Murray it is. And then when Perk brings up Jeff Van Gundy as your defensive coordinator, me interviewing Ty Lue earlier this season, seeing the job that he has been doing, knowing what a great coach he is. With James Harden balling, Norman Powell, I thought should have been an all-star. I can't disagree with Perk. The only thing that I would say, Perk just threw me off. Because thank God I didn't have food in my mouth when he brought up Ben Simmons. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this brother right here, listen, he'll show up tonight. You don't know what he's going to do tomorrow night. You don't know what he's going to do next week. And guess what? It might have nothing to do with basketball. This is the only basketball player in American history that I've seen being assigned to play basketball was treated like they were asking him to be on the front lines of the war in Ukraine. I mean, this dude, it don't make no damn sense, okay? It's inexplicable stuff that goes on with him. So I don't know, and I'm not even joking about it because I don't know what's, in all seriousness, what's been wrong with him mentally, emotionally, or whatever. And I know he's had some injuries. Please don't get me wrong, the knee, the back, and all. I get all of that stuff. But you talk about a brother, once his contract expires, I think it'd be a challenge for him to get minimum. It don't make any sense what's happened to that brother's basketball career. Yes, he never could shoot, but my God, he could do everything else. He was such a special talent. And the drop-off is one of the more precipitous ones I believe we have seen in the history of basketball. It's just unreal, the drop-off that's taken place with him. So all I'm saying is, Perk, I get you with the Clippers. I ain't mad at that at all. But if Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy and them brothers can get Ben Simmons to play like he played last night on a consistent basis, you know what? Just rip up Ty Lue's contract. Just rip up that contract extension that he had and then double it. Double it. Because you talk about mission impossible being achieved, that would be it. If Ty Lue gets Ben Simmons to be a relevant, if Ty Lue gets Ben Simmons to be a relevant basketball player again, I'm talking about mentally, because we all know the skills there, y'all. We all know it's there. Nobody's questioning Ben Simmons' talent other than his shooting ability. We know he has everything else: size, ball handling, basketball IQ, passing ability. I mean, the brother, defensive ability. The brother's special as a talent. It's entirely in the head. If Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy if they get this brother to play, Jeff Van Gundy needs to come off the Clippers bench. Somebody needs to hire him as a head coach, and Ballman needs to rip up Ty Lue's contract and double it. Whatever you giving him, double it. Because that's pulling off, that's mission impossible pulled off right there. That'll put Tom Cruise to shame.
I'll throw one other team out there. In the modern NBA, your offense is your floor. All right, Orlando ranks dead last in scoring at 104 points per game. 10 years ago, that would have ranked 5th. Everybody can score. It's the teams who play defense that make the difference. Memphis is top 7 in the NBA in both offensive and defensive efficiency right now. The only teams that join them in that category are OKC and Boston. They're the 2 seeds, so maybe they're not a sleeper. But for all the vitriol that came John Morant's way a few years ago, it feels like this time around we should be paying attention to how well he's turned it around, as well as that team. I'll leave that there.
I'm on fire. It's NBA,